Izzy, anything you want to add to what we've already talked about?
Well, given that I haven't heard what we've talked about with my dropouts, I'm, I'm just
What
going to
we
go with the
what we
trust.
what we talked about in our intake call.
Oh, no, that felt very complete. Yeah,
Okay. I think I want to go, Izzy. We're going to start with high vibration forces. I'm going to pick who I
sure.
want to rep. I want to pick who I want to represent those because there's certain people I want. And then we're probably going to set up. I want to set up your highest self, and I want to set up you, and I want to set up your father and your grandfather. We'll
Yeah.
start with.
And can I add that I'm actually really happy for you to pick everybody, especially with my dropouts, if you and you know the people in your field. So I'm really happy to go with that. Yeah.
Okay. Either way, I want you to pick out the rep for you and your highest self. I can go beyond that, but I want you to have your heart on who you want, who feels right to represent those roles. Now I'm going to start.
Yeah. It's just that I didn't actually hear anybody introduce themselves. So I'm just going to be going on a name. I don't even have a face. I don't even have the names because I'm on my phone now.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not so easy to pick. Um, yeah, I've just got you on my phone now, which seems like a slightly more stable connection than on my computer. So that's it.
All right.
I hear you and I trust you.
I trust me most of the time also. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Julie, would you represent angels of all loving realms, please? Carmen, highest vibration cosmic helpers that need to be here. Thank you. Carrie, do you represent Izzy? Izzy's representative. Pinar, Izzy's highest self.
I spell that right. I can't totally see what it says, how she spells her name.
We're going to make it an S instead of a Z,
Okay.
but pretty close.
It's ISY.
Oh, thank you, Izzy.
Jane, would you represent Dad? Thank you. If you're getting a role of dad or grandfather, you can feel some darkness around, just hold the role lightly. Do not need to hold these roles 100%. Katuwara, because I know you can. Would you be willing to hold grandfather for us? Great. Call in your helpers, call in your protectors. Don't hold it at 100%, hold it at 50%. As always. Okay. Everybody, as you know, those of you new to my circle, you'll see I usually have people stand. I like to know spatial distance, where people are, what direction they face. Are they close? Are they far? Does anything in their field stand out to them, etc., etc. Izzy's rep, how are you doing?
I'm good. I feel okay, but I couldn't look at the screen. I had to turn and pivot kind of at this angle. And I'm staring at this little colorful fish on the wall. And that's, I feel really good looking at that.
Thank you. Any emotions or sensations?
I feel pretty grounded. Yeah, I feel pretty calm. Okay, as long as I can focus on this, this feels good.
Thank you. Aware of any other representatives in the field?
No, I really don't want to look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, I see a bunch of faces, but no one's jumping out at me.
Yeah.
This feels better.
Yeah, does it feel scary to look or hard to look if you think about it?
I feel like I get a tightness in my chest if I look. Now I feel like my heart's racing a little bit to look over there. And I feel a quivery in my voice now. Yeah, this is much safer.
Great. Yeah, just hold that for Izzy. Thank you so much. Izzy's highest self, what shows up there? No.
I'm feeling very strong in my body. I'm standing like a statue, like my hands are on my hips like this, very strong. But I don't want to look at the screen. I'm looking outside to the woods, deep in the woods. Like there's houses, but my vision is out in the deep forest, the park behind my house.
Great. Thank you. Angels of all loving realms. Julie, what shows up for them? For us?
Yeah, just immense amounts of light, a lot of energy coming from my hands, projecting light into the field. That's what I'm experiencing right now.
Thank you. Thank you for them. Highest vibration cosmic helpers. How are you?
Feeling very spatial, expanded, connected through like a multiverse, and there's a collective here. There's not just one piece. Yeah, it's definitely a collective. And when Izzy speaks, the rep speaks, this collective it was like they were becoming matriarchal and holding her as a child with the hand on the back and the other hand, the left hand is on the bottom and holding that one. When this hears Izzy's highest self speak, we're going, you're good. You know, the highest self doesn't need our support because we are in the same level, but Izzy herself, there's a matriarchal feel to that coming from here.
Thank you. So tell Izzy directly, vibrationally from them, what she needs to hear from you.
We're holding you. We've got you.
Izzy herself feel that?
Yes.
Good.
There's a lot of energy coming through my hands. I feel quite, as with the angels of loving realms, there's a lot coming through my hands.
Thank you. Highest vibration cosmic helpers, my standard spiel. Angels, my standard spiel. Anytime blind spots, anything we need to see, protection for the reps, any guidance that you have for us, please let us know. Raise your hand, whatever. Izzy's father, how are you?
I feel very lost, like a little kid in a fairy tale. I don't know who it was that was saying something about looking out at the woods, but I feel like I'm lost in a forest. And just like looking around this space and seeing things being normal, but like waiting for them to shapeshift into something scary. And just the way I was looking around, it made my heart feel dizzy. And then I got caught over here. So this is far left to the left and back, oriented towards the screen. and there's like a sensation of being towered over, but it shifts from being like a mountain to a creature to a monster. And with each shapeshift, I change from an adult who's puzzled to a child who's horrified. There's a real feeling of being horrified. And as my attention is caught up there, I can feel myself get stabbed through the back, like low in the solar plexus and up out through the heart, and like poison radiates out through my heart, kind of with tentacles like a octopus. Yeah, that's what I know right now.
Thank you, Jen. Izzy's grandfather, how are you?
I have a headache at my forehead and kind of no energy and tired. What I do notice is the lamp from the father and the higher self. The lamp that is light on.
How do you
And
feel?
with
What's that?
those, it's good that I see those two, and in the same time intriguing. But it feels good. That's there.
Thank you. Izzy's rep, any changes, any impacts or things to share?
I started turning away from the fish and towards the right. And really kind of felt almost like what the dad was saying, like darting eyes, just kind of looking at everything. And then when my higher self was speaking about looking in the woods, I could look out. I've got woods all the way back too, but then I focused on this little tree here. So I am focused on the woods, and then dad picked up on the woods as well. When dad talked, I got a little tightness in my chest, but I felt a little stuck when he was talking, and I was staring out at the trees. And then all of a sudden I got totally distracted because there was a huge deer right outside the window. A real live huge deer. And then when he was done talking, grandpa, I also got tightness in my chest when he was talking. But otherwise I felt the mother, the angel realms that was holding me with the motherly love. That was I took a big deep breath when she said that.
Thank you. Izzy herself, how are you?
I'm good. Yes, everything feels congruent for me.
Thank you.
And the
Good
deer
meet-
feels relevant to me.
Does it mean something for you?
Can I add something?
The deer,
Yes, cosmic helpers, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead, Izzy. Sorry, I cut you off.
no, I was just saying that the deer feels relevant. I can't say exactly why, but
Do you have a sense of positive or negative?
Yeah. Positive.
Thank you. Cosmic helpers.
When Izzy's father spoke, there was a smell of actual, this collective could smell death. Yeah, just really horrible, awful. Yeah, so just even more focus towards Izzy to protect her from that.
Thank you. I self.
There's a strong pull to merge with Izzy. I could, if we were in the same room, I would just be glued to her. Maybe like I'm feeling like going in her body and merging and being one.
How's that for you, Izzy's rep?
Feels good. Yeah.
So can the two of you actually follow that movement? As if we were in the same space, maybe feet apart. I also notice the color of your outfits, and I see Izzy as kind of like Izzy's rep, a little black and white, perhaps. Then the highest self with like these multiple shades of black and white. And we'll just feel that connection, just breathing that in, just allowing that to happen as much as it can. Helpers, if we can help in any way to maximize that opportunity, that potential there. Who needs to speak? Angels and then Izzy's father.
Yeah, I just want to add that there is also a strong protection for Izzy herself here, and also protection for children. It's coming through.
Thank you. Yeah, it seems like Izzy's father showed up as a child aspect. Dad, go ahead.
So there's a shelf on this wall that has a big poster of fairies. And then there's a bunch of little gnome statues and things like that. And as I'm looking at them, really feeling that whoever named the death, I felt that like I'm feeling the sensation here and it feels like rotting. And that landed with the death, like I'm rotting from the inside out. But I'm looking at these fairies and these creatures of the forest that look very benevolent. And I'm just aware that that's not how I know them. That's not, I don't know them to be benevolent. And also looking towards the lamp after it was named, able to shift my attention. And it just seems like a figment of my imagination. I can feel myself drawn towards it like a moth to a flame, and also with an awareness that if I move towards it, I'll be consumed by it or obliterated by it. So there's just a lot of tension in my system, and it feels very invisible.
Thank you. Izzy's rep, what do you want to share?
When he was talking, the heart pain got worse. I got really cold too when the death thing came up. That could be me. I'm not sure if that's Izzy's rep or if that's me because it's kind of cold on my porch, but I had to turn the heat towards me. And I couldn't look at him as he kept going down that fairy path. I had to go look back at the fish, and I'm really feeling curled up, kind of hunched over, and heart pain again.
Thank you. Grandfather, anything you want to add? Nothing. Grandfather, I want you to speak for him again and just let me know kind of a refresh of what's going on, even though there hasn't been a change.
Just lying down, and I feel like I'm waiting for something, but I don't know what. And for the time being, I'm just drained, and I'm just either closing the eyes or from time to time opening, but nothing much.
Thank you. So Izzy, right now, I'm speculating that whatever, I don't know, but whatever we need to see is actually before grandfather.
Yeah, I would suspect that too.
Mhm.
I think I mentioned in our intake that I felt my grandfather was only the way he was because of his treatment, so it had to come before him. Yeah.
Kevin, did you bring in Willing, the great grandfather? Great. As always, hold it 50% so we see what's there. Have your protectors with you. Izzy's rep.
I was staring at the floor now, and this rug has patterns of like they look like eights, but they're like infinity signs. And I'm really staring at this infinity sign 8. And then there's also my slippers that are kind of right next to it. And both those things are kind of taking my attention now.
That's when great grandfather comes in.
Yeah, when he's talking about laying there waiting for something, I just started shivering like, oh God, it's coming, something like that.
Amelia, how are you doing? Do you feel comfortable, Amelia, bringing in the great grandmother? Okay, cool. Thank you. Highest self, go ahead. You're muted.
Someone has been choked.
When we bring in the grandfather, the great grandfather and the great grandmother.
Yep.
Thank you. Izzy's rep.
I'm very curious about the great grandmother. Like
Hmm.
that pulled my attention and I'm just seeing what she's up to.
Great, thank you for that. Kevin, what shows up for the great grandfather? You have to unmute, Kevin.
Continue to have a real lot of energy in the head. I'm drawn over to the bookshelf. There's a leather belt, but I'm not going to. I'm not sure if I'm going to go for that yet. But there's a leather belt there that's taking my attention.
Leather belt. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Highest self. Highest self. Go ahead, and then Izzy herself.
When great grandfather speaks, my hands get tighter.
Thank you. Izzy herself.
Yeah, the mention of the leather belt made me go completely cold and shivers all over my body.
While
And my heart racing.
while you're experiencing that, see if you can feel the highest vibration, cosmic helpers and the angels. You may not be able to trust whatever's true, but just know that they're there.
Yeah, yeah.
Great
As soon
grandmother.
as-
Go ahead.
I was going to say, as soon as great grandfather came in, we really expanded ourselves out to, we were looking after great grandfather at one time. But our priority today is Izzy. But we are also including him.
And just tell him directly that information.
Great grandfather, we are here. That light that is around you, that is us.
Thank you. Great grandmother.
Coming into the field, I have a rush of anxiety through my core, and I want to keep moving, like I'm looking for something. But I'm also really trying to, I think, move away from great grandfather. There's a strong sense that if we get in the same space, that I might not be safe.
Yeah, thank you. Izzy's rep.
My hands also clasped, I think, when the great grandfather came in, and my throat is really sore right now, and I'm nauseous, like hopefully I'm gonna take it back a little bit, because I don't want to, but nauseous about that, and my heart's hurting still,
Thank you.
and I'm really focused on the great grandfather now.
Thank you. Maureen, did you come in as relevant darkness and give that a place? Feel comfortable with that? Great. As always, hold it lightly. No need to do it 100%. Take care of yourself. Have the guides and protectors around you. So the reason why I brought that one in is because I wasn't sure, but because the highest vibration cosmic self helpers said they're protecting great grandfather also, it indicates that there's something to protect him from. So I want to test. Sometimes hard to get the darkness in the field. It likes to hide. So we'll see if it shows up or forget something else. Who needs to speak? Izzy's rep and then Izzy's father after that.
When that came in, I full body shivers again and I had to just turn away from everything and now I'm looking at like a blank line.
Okay,
I feel
thank
it a
you.
lot.
Say that a little louder, please, or turn a little bit,
It,
as you said.
it feels like a lot.
Thank you. Izzy's father showing up for him.
Yeah, as soon as the great grandfather came in, I like crouched on the ground, like something is happening back here. And I feel like I'm watching ants crawl on the ground or just kind of putting my finger in the dirt. But there's also like, I want to hit my ears. I want to hide under the roots of a tree. If there was something, my bed is here and I'm like trying to figure out how I can crawl underneath it, but I can't. It's like, I really want to hide and be in a smaller space. So I'm just making myself as small as I can. Yeah, that's just where I've been since the great grandfather, since he was mentioned, even before he was brought into the field.
Thank you. Grandfather, let's check in with you too, see if there's impact.
Yeah, so if I'm looking at my father, I'm really scared of him. And I would, if I was lying down and relaxed and that kind of thing, just tired when he appeared, like I would make myself really, really tiny. And if I could vanish would be great. Interesting, when you brought the darkness, I would say I can trust them, but not my father. That's for sure. And I'm still waiting.
Thank you. Relevant darkness, what shows up there?
I'm very agitated. I came in and I feel like I'm looking for an object, like I'm checking out objects, like I want to harm somebody. And I feel there might be some psychopathic tendencies here. But I feel like some kind of rage, but I feel very distracted.
Thank you. Cosmic helpers and angels, also let me know if you ever need more light in the field. As always, great grandfather, how are you? And then Izzy's grandfather.
Got a really strong sense of being in the military and there's been some really tough, violent war. I'm back home and that energy, that violent energy just is looking to come out, and I'm doing my best. I have my hands behind. There's just this violence and I'm doing my best not to do too much damage.
Just try these words for the great grandfather. I'm trying hard not to harm.
I'm trying hard not to harm anyone.
And I probably did. Or no, it's actually and I did.
And I did.
Yeah. Thank you. Great grandmother.
I'm holding the dog like it's perhaps the grandfather, the baby, and swaying, and it makes me feel very protective. I feel like something has happened while I was with my baby.
Thank you. Larry.
Yeah, could you just repeat what she said? Something happened when she was holding the baby? Is that what she said?
Go ahead and repeat that, please.
I feel very protective of the baby, and I have a strong feeling like something terrible happened while I was holding my baby.
Thank you.
Grandfather, you had something.
I don't know if to bring it up or not, but I'll bring it up. It's been strange, like in Minno's background. It's that sun with the pointed star. Usually I do like it. I'm a fan of that one. But this time now I got a very chill vibes. So spooky and like witchcraft. It made me think of witchcraft. Just that
Okay.
to mention, and in the grandmothers, it's interesting, the painting, I'm drawn to that painting, those two elements. I wanted to just name it.
Great grandmothers. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Mhm.
Minnow, anything happen as you hear that? I think you've seen constellation work before, correct?
I have it. Um, the relevant darkness came to me right before you introduced great grandfather. So there's definitely a presence here that is mocking this whole thing. So
Great. Thank you. Just let me know. I don't want you to necessarily feel the energies that are in the field, but if they attach to you strongly, I want you to let me know. Larry and Sasha. I don't know if we need two of you, but can you bring in relevant victims? Relevant victims. Thank you. I'm also curious if great grandfather, perhaps if there was any children killed. It's one of my curiosities. Then there's also the war. So I don't know what will show up, but maybe children involved. Angels of all loving realms.
And just letting, there's a lot of extra protection for Maureen right now, and also compassion for the relevant darkness is really coming through.
Compassion for the relevant darkness. So Maureen may be representing a person then. Thank you. Izzy's rep, what's happening for you?
As soon as you called in the victims, I went down into a little ball.
Are you praying for them?
I don't think so.
Don't want to see them?
That feels right, more right.
I want you to move your body either left or right, and I want you to see if you can feel them as you move your body. Like perhaps you're with them. Izzy herself. Yeah,
I think I want to lay down with you.
yeah, thank you. Izzy herself.
I'm doing great. I'm totally in. Yeah. It all feels very true.
Mm-hmm. Relevant victims, Zasha.
I had to move to the grass, and I feel very weak, like unstable on my feet, and I'm leaning for support. And the nature is helping a bit.
Thank you. I want you to know, relevant victims, that people in the future are looking at you to see what happened with high vibration intent. Just let that one know. It's just the truth. What's going on? Relevant the victims through Larry.
I feel fearful, trapped, not like I was killed, like I have to endure this danger, real small, very small, kind of hiding. And then when you said the thing about people from the future watching me, that was like, that is so confusing. Like, how does that help me here now?
Yeah.
Like, I'm too young an age for that to sink in.
Just try for that one. I've got nobody.
I've got nobody.
Yeah.
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 It's more like there's more, like maybe there's a lot of siblings. We've got nobody.
Thank you for giving them a place. Yeah, Larry, appreciate that. Izzy's father, go ahead.
Yeah, everything that he just named is how I feel.
Just try this for the father. You can speak that directly to relevant victims through forgetting your name. Sorry, I know who you are. And try that through the relevant victims and just let that one know. Let them know
Let
that
the relevant victims know that I feel the same way.
that you know them.
Yeah, I know you.
I have a connection with you.
I have a connection with you.
If it feels true, I know what happened to you.
I don't know if I know, but I
Might be
feel
a,
like I feel like I was there when it happened.
so maybe siblings.
Mm.
So, thank you. Thank you. Relevant victims. What shows up there?
When you said about the future, like that made sense to me, that comforted me. I've been feeling a lot of pain in my heart center. And I keep distracting myself by looking at the flowers and touching the greens.
You look like you look like a woman who's all alone and maybe has lost someone. I don't know if that lands for you. Someone was killed or died. I don't, but if it lands, let me know.
It does.
Like you're mourning a loss.
It feels true. I am mourning a loss, and stuff also happened to me.
Thank you.
And maybe I'm not just mourning a loss. There's a lot of loss. Like there's not more than 1%.
Thank you.
Been lost.
Relevant victims through Larry. Anything you want to add?
When Izzy's father's rep spoke, I feel stronger. And then as Zasha, as relevant victims spoke, I looked over at great grandfather. He was like that. Very scary. Like he's very violent.
Thank you. Great grandfather, go ahead, and then Maureen, relevant darkness. I want to find out what's going on with that role, whatever that is.
When relevant victim, as Larry spoke earlier, he said something about, I can't remember the word, and I just got torture, and strong images of torture. I'm not sure if I've been the torturer or the victim. Could be both.
Just say that I am both.
I am both.
Yeah, it feels true. And which one were you saying that to specifically? Was it Larry or Zasha?
Larry. Yeah.
Yeah.
When he said I am both, I could breathe. I took a big sigh. There was a relief to have that acknowledged.
Yeah, thank you for them. It's interesting, Suki. God, I haven't seen you this whole time. What's happening, Suki?
Hey, I've been having this really strong buzzing movement in my head as well, and then once in a while a headache comes in and out. But whenever great grandfather speaks, I get all right, relieved, you know. And I have to also add this on that just before the constellation, I had a dream of a father figure giving me a belt in my hands and telling me that I have the right to punish all of those people who have done bad. And I had to tell him that's not my position. That was in my dream I had just before the constellation. So it just, all of this is so connected to the experience and feeling.
It might fit. Yeah, there's the belt. Yeah, it might fit with Izzy's father too, because that one kind of, I don't know. Hold that Relevant darkness through Maureen. What's showing up there? Do you feel like relevant darkness, or are you a person? If you have a sense.
I feel like definitely a perpetrator, definitely perpetrator. And I was scanning each of these people quite close. And I know that my way in was through great grandfather. And then I was quite proud because through great grandfather, I was able to access Izzy's father. I did not like when the relevant victim Larry spoke or when Suki spoke. It kind of, you know, it's almost like I feel more power through them, and it really irritated me. And I feel like great grandpa would say there's something he did or didn't do, because I don't feel like he necessarily took something from me, but I feel like he did or didn't do something that affected me, and I'm trying to punish the family.
I am punishing the family.
I am punishing the family.
Would it be true for you to say something like we had a deal or something like that?
No, there's definitely something there. Like maybe we had a pact to watch each other's back or something, and he didn't, and then someone maybe it's weird. I almost want to say I feel like someone that I cared for got hurt, but I don't feel victims. So I'm a little confused about that energy, but it's something that I'm really pissed at the great grandfather.
Thank you. Relevant victims, Larry?
As this relevant darkness spoke, I feel like I've gotten older in age. I want to fight back. Like I'm standing up strong. Yeah, just a real aggressive force to protect and fight back.
Thank you.
Fierce.
Let's go to the angels first, and then other relevant victims, Zasha, in a minute. Angels first.
There's something around fertility that keeps coming up. I'm just going to add that.
Thank you.
Zasha? I'm holding that one. I started feeling pain in my belly, and then this like dark swirling in my over there, and then it's almost like I'm in that crouching position where I might give birth. I can feel my vagina kind of opening a little, but at the same time, it doesn't feel human. It's not a human I'm about to give birth to, and it feels much smaller in size than a human baby would. Like it's almost, it's right now it feels like black smoke circling inside. And as soon as relevant darkness said I'm a perpetrator, I got this sense of like there's, like this other dark entity is here. Yeah, like that. Yeah, so it's here. There's another one.
Thank you. Izzy's highest self, how are you doing? Anything to share? And then high vibration cosmic helpers.
Yeah, my hands got released from my neck when the relative victims came in, and now it's unfolding as it should be. So things are coming out to the surface. So I'm watching that.
Thank you. Cosmic helpers, go ahead.
I just want to let Izzy know, the rep and Izzy herself. There was a sensation of a phoenix opening up the wings and rising, and is standing right with Izzy through this storm that's going on right now. And we're very aware of the great grandmother. It looks like she's in a pool of blood. And we are in alignment with the angels of all loving realms. I really feel that this, not I, but this representation feels very connected with that one in keeping the field from completely tipping over. And there's a lot of weaving of the light going between and helping to shift. Relevant victims really brought our attention to gather them up and hold them as well.
Beautiful. Thank you so much to them. Izzy's rep, and then we'll go Izzy herself.
I was just gonna note that as soon as I felt very drawn to Larry as the relevant victim, and that's who I was kind of with there. And then as soon as he had the ability to stand, I could stand as well. And then I noticed my hands are very tightly over my kind of pelvis area too. So then when the other relevant victim started talking about the pregnancy, that felt right to me as well.
But it'd be true to say I'm protecting myself.
I'm protecting myself.
Thank you. And I honor the victims.
And I honor the victims. Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, there's like an atonement in this one. Larry, relevant victims, anything to share? And then Maureen, I'll come to you.
Yeah, when the rep for Izzy spoke, I just got this image of an entanglement of Izzy having to fight in life.
Is that
just-
your fight that Izzy's
Yeah,
fighting?
I did the fight. Like yeah, like I went from being small on the floor, trapped, to fierce, aggressive. Yeah, but powerful, but had to maintain a fighting. I'm fighting, and then something about the great grandfather, like that's in me too. This whole violence,
The violence. Okay.
the violence, like that's the answer. That's the only possible solution is be violent, be aggressive.
Try these words. That's the only way we know.
That's the only way we know. Yeah.
And you can tell Izzy's rep or Izzy herself, wherever you're drawn, you carry our fight. Change it if you need, change it to whatever
It's
you need.
well, it's past tense. You've been carrying our fight. You have been carrying our fight. Yeah.
Izzy herself, Izzy's rep. I want you to try these words. I've tried to be a good soldier.
I've tried to be a good soldier.
Just feel the heart around that.
Jack, I want to take the try out.
Yeah, I want to say that too. I'm a good soldier.
Thank you. So Izzy's rep. Vibrate that and speak that into the field again. Corrected?
I'm a good soldier.
Yeah. And just feel your heart around that. Even have a sense of like maybe even touching your heart. To actually feel the love in that.
I feel super grounded, like everything is going down. I mean, I can work my hand up to my heart, but I am a good soldier.
Thank you.
So
go ahead.
Yeah, when they say that, I feel very sad. Like I want to take it back from them. It wasn't theirs. Like I just feel very sad that this kept going into the current generation.
Try this to them if it feels true. It hurts us that you've carried our fight.
It hurts me that you've carried this fight.
I didn't want you to do that.
I didn't want you to do that. It doesn't help me.
Try these words. I just wanted the love.
Yeah. I just wanted to love. Yeah.
Izzy's rep or Izzy's highest self, whichever, whoever needs to speak. Highest self.
I'm feeling very proud as the higher self with the strength of a soldier being in us. And this fight brought us to where we are. This gave us the strength. So it's not something like a handicap or anything, just we're lacking. We are fueled by this. So it's our strength and we're proud of that.
But I want you to try this. I needed the fight. I needed the strength of the fight.
Yeah, I want to say I'm proud of the strength the fight has given me.
Yeah. And I want you to try this. And it's possible it no longer serves.
This is like, no, I don't want to say that. But in my mind, I know it's a possibility.
Just
So
try. It's better to feel the fight than to feel the pain.
yeah, it's better to feel the fight than to feel the pain.
Yeah, just take that in for Izzy's being. Thank you so much. Maureen, I am going to get over to you. Like I keep wanting to get there, so I'm super aware of you. Just want you to know that. Izzy's rep.
That all felt really good. My body softened a lot, although I feel like my solar plexus and sacral area is kind of stirred up and a little
Thank you.
upset.
Who needs to speak before I go over to Maureen? Everybody, of course. Sasha, go ahead.
I feel like I'm stuck like mid-birth. I can feel it sort of like emerging from my vagina and then going back in, almost like this black tentacles. And a little while ago, I started feeling a choking in my throat. And so like I've been holding this. And before that, I was like in this very specific body position of like holding both my knees with both my hands crossed like that. And it felt very like relevant somehow. And now I'm kind of one hand's on my throat. And I feel a little infected by this as well. And
Yeah,
I need
it's
to,
dark.
I'm crouching. I'm like, my neck keeps going down. And now with this, it's being held up for the first time.
Thank you. Sarah, I want you to bring in giving birth to light. Giving birth to light, because this one's kind of birthing a low vibration energy, but it's in and out. It's not fully birthed. Let's bring in another opportunity into the field. I saw a couple of hands, but let's go to our helpers first. Let's go to angels first.
Yeah, there's a strong energy around this baby needing to be born, and we will take that baby into direct protection immediately. There's already
Thank you.
protection for this child.
Sarah, I want you to change your name to Birthing Light. Birthing Light. I saw two hands up before, and was that great grandfather and relevant victims through Larry?
When I earlier said the word, I just wanted to love, my attention was drawn to the great grandmother. Like I think there was something about love and her that I'm sort of seeing.
Yeah. Great grandmother, do you have a deceased baby? My first question. Or babies?
I believe I have a blanket of dead babies behind me.
Thank you.
Oh.
Great grandmother, would you be willing to, with love, show us these babies who died? If you're willing, it's up to you.
Are they safe from the great grandfather?
Cosmic helpers, what's true for you, and see if this lands for great grandmother.
We're here, great grandmother. We're here. We're supporting you as well.
And just tell your, I'm going to tell the great grandmother a soul truth of what's going on. Your great granddaughter has opened this up to bring healing to the family. Your great granddaughter who survived has opened this up to bring healing and light to the family. Take that in, that you have a living great granddaughter. Thank you, Izzy.
Okay.
So a lot of love here in this field, great grandmother. You can see if you can feel it. I know it gets confusing when there's darkness. I understand that.
Yes, I feel very much like I took my own beatings and I just laid my body over these children. And I've been so grateful to see the relevant victims speaking. I'm so, so proud. And I wanted also, when Izzy's highest self speaks, I feel so deeply compassionate, and I want her to know that I'm resourcing her with so much love. And there is an entanglement of vigilance, hypervigilance, that is so powerful, and that has been my story that she doesn't have to carry. But if she truly would like to see the babies, if it is serving, then I can remove the blanket and she can see them.
Izzy's rep, how does that land for you?
Oh, I'm really sick to my stomach. I'd like to hear that she's sending me love, but it's a lot for me right now.
Izzy's rep, I want you to turn on that lamp behind you, and I want you to turn on the light. There's light in this field with you. There's love in this field with you. And there's darkness here. We're aware of that. We're not hiding that. And if you want, Izzy's rep, you can even put that light at your back. It almost looks like angel's wings. You can stand if you want, or you can move it either way.
Strength. Wow, you like that?
And I want you to imagine, Izzy's rep, that it's possible that you have your own angel's wings to come into this family. Just breathe that in if it feels relevant, true. Even if they've been clipped a little bit.
I feel like they're about like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Relevant victims through Zasha, and then great grandmother, and then eventually Maureen. I promise I'll get to you.
When great grandmother expressed that she's proud, that felt good and resourcing. And when the light turned on, I really noticed that, and it's really supporting me. I'm doing my best not to give birth. It's like I'm holding it in and not letting it birth. But this on my neck is like I'm being forced to. It's like someone's trying to force me to do this. And I'm just like trying my best not to let it happen.
And I think what's going to have to happen shortly is we're going to let you give birth to that darkness. We'll let it have a place. I think it is probably what happened. But hold that for now, and thank you for trying as a soul, like that one tried not to. There's so much beauty in that. Yeah. Great grandmother, how are you? And how are you with this idea of showing? It doesn't have to be us, but showing it maybe one person on the screen, the babies.
I feel deeply saddened that this was passed on. Yeah,
Try these words. It breaks my heart.
It breaks my heart.
I tried so hard to stop it.
I tried so hard to stop it.
Well, I'm gonna tell great grandmother something else. It was way bigger than you. This is light and dark. It's fucking massive forces. It's way bigger than you, great grandma.
Mhm.
And thank you for the heart of trying.
I felt paper thin in all of it, just washed around. And when the belt went like this, I could feel it in my body. And I noticed that my hands are behind my back, like great grandfather had described, trying to keep from hurting someone. It's almost like I'm concerned that I'll hurt if I reveal the babies too.
Thank you. Thank you. Who needs to speak? Maureen, what's happening for them?
There's been a lot happening as people have been talking, so I'm not sure where this fits in, but the baby's great grandmother, I feel proud because I did that. I did that because of great grandfather, and it's because Zasha. I'm not sure if this was metaphysical or if this was we were doing experiments. But that baby, it was dark and it was supposed to be born, and it was my baby. It was, and I don't know if that means my project or if that means my physical baby, but I see my hands going around grandfather's neck and they feel like tentacles going into his chest and into his throat, just like the victim there. So the
Thank you.
anger from great grandfather to great, or from great grandmother was because of great grandfather screwing this up.
Thank you. Zasha, is he higher self? Do you want to say anything about that?
I've been saying that I'm not using
No, it's okay. It needs to be here. It so clearly walks up with a black. Yeah. Relevant victims, Zasha. If you can, I want you to go ahead and give birth. It happened. It has a place. It's here. I don't want to know if you can go ahead and allow it.
Feels dangerous. Feels like it can cause so much harm to do that. So like in my body, there's this kind of clenching. It's like if I hold it in and I don't let it out, then only I'm the one that is harmed.
I want you to try these words. If it feels true. I tried my best.
I'm trying my best.
And it leaked out anyway. Or it came out anyway.
And it leaked out anyway.
That feel true?
Feels like it's the reality I'm really trying to prevent. And I'm really in that, like as if, yeah, it's kind of like, you know, swallowing a bomb so it explodes inside of me and not doesn't harm others kind of thing.
Try these words for that one. I couldn't stop it.
I couldn't stop it.
And just feel what comes up as you acknowledge that for that soul.
It's like I'm still in that fight of it so strongly that I can't connect to the, you know, where I fail. It's like I'm not at that, like there yet. It's like it feels so important to not lose, to not give up.
Thank you. There's a lot of, it's interesting, there's a lot of malevolence, but there's a lot of love. There's a lot of fucking people trying to do the right thing in this lineage. There's a lot of people trying to do the right thing in this lineage. And the forces that were here are so powerful. On the malevolent side, that things happen anyway. That's what I'm saying.
Can I say something, Jack?
Yes.
Interestingly enough, whether this is born dead or alive, it feels like having it born is actually going to soften things for me with the family. So it does need to happen.
Yeah, there's a resistance to it, and it needs to be given a place. needs to be given a place. Thank you. Higher self, go ahead, and then cosmic helpers.
Yeah, I'm strongly feeling it's better not be born. If it does, it's gonna mess up a lot of stuff. And the relative victim did a good job holding it back in, although it did seep out a little bit. It also contained a lot of it back. So it's kept it under control. So I don't think just releasing it would help the field at all. But
Okay. Thank you.
I resonate with that. Like a little bit might have leaked out, but yeah, I've held it in and I've kept the lineage from experiencing the full damage and the destruction of this.
Thank you. Go ahead, higher self.
yeah, if it gets born, it would mess up a lot more than it currently does. So just I wouldn't mess up with that.
Thank you. So just thank this one, Izzy's highest self, for the struggle this one did to hold the light. Thank you. Cosmic helpers, go ahead, and then angels.
The cosmic helpers are focused on the relative victims and the birthing light. And will the relevant victims accept the birthing light to allow that birth to come through as light instead of darkness?
Thank you. Relevant victims through Zasha.
Yes, that feels good to me. Like as this one started speaking, I just started looking at the birthing light rep and started feeling like a desire to come together and merge.
Beautiful. Birthing light, and then angels, and then Izzy's father.
Birthing light is just here, just holding this space and really, really focused on doing just that. That's it.
Check these words for anybody and see if any of it lands for anyone. I'm scared to give birth because of what may come out. Does that land for anybody?
I'm scared to give birth because of what may come out.
Lands for you.
It's like I know what would come out.
And what do you know?
Nothing good.
Yeah. And yet Izzy has a child. So I want you to take that in, highest self, and see if there's a possibility that something good may not have to happen here with Zasha's holding for us. Angels of all living realms, go ahead. And then Izzy's father.
We're already holding this child. We already have a place in this for this child. And the
Thank you.
fear is around not necessarily the evilness of a child, but what might come out secretive wise.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, could you say that again? What might come out?
As far as a secret around this child?
Secretive aspects. Thank you. Izzy's father, you had something? And then Cosmic Helpers, did you have something?
Yeah, with the talk about actually allowing the darkness to be born, I started to feel the tension that I've had, like that infection, that rotting, like I could purge it, like that being bornness is important because it's what allows me to let it out of my body. And the talk about not letting it out, I feel very like, oh, I just have to, it just has to stay in me then. It doesn't get to leave.
Yeah, and
like admitting.
It may need to be balanced with the birthing light. And go ahead, Izzy's father. Father, did you have one?
I don't remember. It's okay.
There's
Izzy's
always
rep.
going to.
Maureen.
You were waiting to hear from Izzy's rep. Oh, I feel really strongly that the darkness is always going to be there. And if you don't give this to me and let me go and get me my peace, I'm going to stay in your family.
Thank you. Izzy's rep.
When my dad started talking, I lost my balance and I had to sit. And I still have just a really upset stomach about this whole thing.
Thank you. Birthing light.
Still the same. Just holding space, waiting to see if someone is going to take action.
Thank you. Relevant victims through Zasha.
So right before, especially when the father also spoke about, releasing from his body, I started feeling like there could be like light that could wrap around the darkness in the womb and like be like a protective barrier for everyone and everything, and then it can be born. But as soon as relevant darkness spoke up and said, my baby, until you give it to me, your lineage won't be left alone. It was like, no, it can't give it to you. No, it can't go there. Like all of a sudden alarm bells started ringing and I, lost the willingness to give that birth. Whereas giving it to the angels of all loving realms feels
good,
better, but like dangerous to give it to the relevant darkness.
Yeah. So we won't ask you to do that. We will not. You will not be asked to do that. And I want you to just say, I could give it to the angels of all loving realms.
I could give it to the angels of all loving realms.
Yeah, I feel like there's love in that. Angels, how's that for you?
Yeah, we have a space for that child. Strong divine mother energy right now.
Birthing light, can you just bring your energy a little closer for us?
And when angels just said that, I had a shiver went through my body.
Thank you. Relevant victims through Zasha, just follow what feels true as far as a movement. I think you'll find you might be at peace afterwards too.
Yeah, I feel like going closer to the birthing light.
Yep. Just follow the movement, particularly angels, birthing light, and cosmic helpers. I have a sense too, Zasha, for them of just allowing it to flow out of you. Just knowing that it's going into the arms of angels. Take as much time as you need. You're doing beautifully. So wonderfully. You did so much to hold this back for so long.
I can feel like a pain on the left side of my temple. And it's like my body is getting ready to give birth to this one. So it goes straight into the arms of the angels. And feeling the light entering my womb.
Izzy's rep, breathe. Izzy herself, breathe.
I feel like I might pass out.
I want you to stand, Izzy's rep, and I want you to stand in front of the light. So there's a contrast between that and actually standing in your strength, but stand in front of that light. And I respect it feels like I might even pass out. 100%. And just know that you survived all of this. You'll make it through this too.
Feeling the contractions now, it's starting.
Yep. Izzy, part of this is relevant to your gifts. Bringing your gifts to the world is this movement. I feel goosebumps. It's birthing light.
Yeah.
You've been afraid to birth because of the dark.
Ah. Oh. Ah. 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 Can feel like a little baby octopus shape.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost ah. Ah. It had me gripped all the way to my throat from the inside.
Everybody just feel the hurt that's in the field right now. It may not be for everybody, but for those that are meant to feel it, feel the hurt. Got about 20 minutes left, so we've got some more work to do. Doing great. Angels, how is this?
Yeah, it's actually really beautiful, this movement. Brave,
Thank you.
very brave.
Brave. Thank you. Relevant victims, Sir Larry.
I'm looking at Minnow and Suki, feeling like they need to take roles as midwives.
Thank you. Suki, follow. Minnow, if that feels true for you, you can follow. Can we do this? Because their screens are dark, I prefer to bring in midwives of light. So if that feels true for the two roles, maybe it's that we have midwives of light and dark. I don't know. So honor what comes through you. Maybe one is light, one is dark. I'm not sure. Go ahead and rename yourself if you can, if you have that ability. If not, tell me what you represent and I'll rename you. Zasha, what would you like to share for this part of this family?
Been holding on to this for so long. It's just my whole body. It's like I was giving myself, sacrificing myself. There's so much pain and grief and like this. Yeah, like I've been through the biggest war.
Mm.
I also feel like I'm amongst very strong people and I'm from very strong people.
Thank you. Izzy's rep, can you move forward? Do you have the strength to move forward now? Great. And Izzy's rep, if you can, just see this one, who you've had some sort of an entanglement with, connection with. Try to hold the dark back. And now, with the help of birthing light, allowed it to come through. Highest self, go ahead.
When the relevant victim was giving birth, I could understand how it was so hard to hold on, because when I was giving birth, there was a time the body wants to push the baby out, but then the doctors tell the mother to hold back and wait because it's not the right time. And that time feels like hundreds of hours instead of a minute, just holding back. And she was holding back for so long, and we're feeling such respect for her to wait for this perfect moment to give birth to light.
Yeah. Just tell this one, we finally made it. It's kind of like we finally made it here, whether it's this constellation that's years, decades into the future. Just tell them when we finally made it.
We're here. We made it.
We're here. And we're so grateful.
So grateful. So much respect.
Just tell this one, we hold a light for you.
Could you say it again?
We hold a light for you.
Yeah, we're the carriers of light. And that light is coming from you. We'll keep it shining forward.
We're going to turn your sacrifice into light, into birthing light.
We're going to turn your sacrifice into light by birthing light.
Yeah, and that's Izzy's gifts in the world. What you're here to do, Izzy. Izzy herself, let's check in there, and then I want to go back to great grandmother. Maureen, do you still feel relevant? I know you're relevant, so I don't mean that disrespectfully, but I mean as far as moving forward.
There was a shift in energy because with her keeping it, it kept me stuck. So at least it went to light, but I still feel there's something that I have with great grandfather. It's not as strong, but there's still something unresolved there.
Great, thank you. Hi, Self, go ahead.
Yeah, great grandfather has to acknowledge what is done.
Thank you. Great grandfather, how are you? Let's do that first before great grandmother.
When there was talk of soldiering way back, I would insist that we have to fight or we'll be crushed. And over this process, I've lost the fight and my attention has gone to my wife, and I would be with her now.
Just try these words for great grandfather. It was kill or be killed.
It was kill or be killed.
And I killed.
And I killed.
And I survived.
And I survived.
Let's take that in for him. It feels like there's an awareness landing on that one, great grandfather. Does that feel accurate? Try these words for the great grandfather. If it's true, I lost so much of what I was.
I lost so much of what I was.
I did things that horrified myself.
I did things that horrified myself.
And just take that in with heart for that one. And everybody that needs to hold heart for that one, please do. And just know that you have a great granddaughter who's birthing light in the lineage. And in some way it came through you, part of it. Great grandmother, how are you?
I feel very tired physically.
I see, great grandmother, I see a lot of lights in your frame, either behind you or on the wall to your side. And I want to know if you can bring those in as the babies. You don't have to bring them forward. But just name the lights that represent the babies. Again, it could be right behind you or it could be in that wall in the back.
I saw before on the wall in the back a line of candles.
Mm-hmm.
The babies.
What happens when you see them, great grandfather?
I grieve. Now I can grieve.
Just try these words, great grandfather. I couldn't see the light. All I could see was the dark.
I couldn't see the light. All I could see was the dark.
I lost my way.
I lost my way.
I see what I did to you and the babies.
I see what I did to you and the babies.
Great grandmother, impacts.
It's been so long that I've been alone and carrying that. It's hard to hear it from you.
Yeah, and this is not about asking for forgiveness or giving forgiveness. This is about just acknowledging what this one did. Relevant victims through Zasha, you wanted to say something, and then highest self.
This thing just dropped in and I'm not sure about it, but this sense of like almost like this was the entanglement with me, because of which the babies kept on being killed or, you know, not born.
Good. So I want you to just see this great grandmother and see that you two as souls had a connection in this lineage.
I think I always had a hope, and that's why I allowed myself to continue to have the babies, because I just always believed that.
Great grandmother, I want you to see that you have a great granddaughter. Her name is Izzy. Izzy, is that your full name? Is it changed or shortened? Izzy herself. She's not with us. Okay.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I just came back on. Izzy's my current legal name. It's what I've always been called. It's not what's written on my birth certificate, but it is what I've always been.
What was written on your birth certificate?
Isabel with an O, Isobel.
Thank you. It feels relevant.
Yeah.
Thank you. And so, great grandmother, just take in you have a great granddaughter, and she's committed to birthing light. And I want you to connect that to the hope that you always held, because it wasn't fucking misplaced. Take that in for her. Light, the light won in the end. Yeah, it feels like taking that in for a great grandmother's soul. And you could even touch your rosary. Yeah. Go ahead, Zasha.
My attention just went to the relevant darkness very strongly.
Thank you. Maureen, what's happening there?
I
Doing great.
still feel, I'm feeling like starting to disconnect from this family, but something still needs to be said between me and great grandfather.
Great. Who wants to speak it? Either you or great grandfather, who's first?
I feel like he has to.
Great grandfather, what happens when you look at whatever Maureen is holding for us, that energy from this place, a new place where you thought there was only darkness?
I washed my hands of it. There was blood in my hands.
Yeah, I sense that. So I want you to do this with respect. Great grandfather, wash the blood off your hands. And if it feels right, Maureen, you can leave that with you with respect. Does that feel okay?
It feels like we both had blood on our hands.
And then wash it together. And if you want, you can even leave it with the angels at this point and the cosmic helpers.
I still feel like I need, it's odd. I'm hearing forgiveness, but I don't really feel he needs to forgive me. So there's something, because that, when he said, oh, I have blood on my hands, it feels like to really release me. I feel I need to feel a little bit more compassion, or something, or acknowledgement.
Great grandfather, try these words. You were a deep part of my soul journey.
You were a deep part of my soul journey.
That feels right.
And in this way, there's love.
And in this way, there's love.
Does that feel true to say for the great grandfather?
There's definitely a bond.
In this way, there's a bond.
In this way, there's a
I was
bond.
feeling that bond, like it's that bond.
Great grandfather, I give you a place.
I give you a place
In my soul journey.
in my soul journey.
And I feel acknowledged.
Try these words, Maureen. Let us wash the blood off together.
Let us wash the blood off together.
Great grandfather, does that feel good? And it feels like washing the blood off this lineage too.
I actually feel like I can leave now.
Okay, go ahead and let that go. Thank you. And actually wash your hands, Maureen. Find something. And actually, I want you to do this movement. Allow it go into the water. And the high vibration beings can transmit it to where it needs to go.
Yeah, I'm gonna change and then I'm gonna go wash my hands and come back.
Great. Great grandfather, how was that for you?
It's good. I need to wash my hands real.
Yeah, it feels like it needs to happen. So call in sacred water even as you're doing it. Yeah.
I have water sacred.
Thank you. Great grandmother, how are you?
Feel like I can finally see great grandfather.
Are you willing to bring your babies closer now or not? And if not, that's fine. Maybe you can even just point them out to Izzy, your great granddaughter.
I feel like I can move the blanket back and she can see them on the bed.
Okay, that sounds beautiful. Thank you for doing that, great grandmother. And yeah, Izzy, knowing that you'll give birth to light with the support. And I know in your lineage is this other energy. Okay, giving a place for the young ones. And we're holding a place. We're still keeping them safe. We're still keeping them safe. Cosmic helpers, angels of all loving realms, holding light around this. A bubble of light, a circle of light around the babies.
This feels very vulnerable because all I've been trying to do is keep them hidden.
Yeah. Just tell your husband, I saw the light in the.
In what?
I saw the light in them.
I saw the light in them.
Yeah. Try this, great grandma, and see if this feels true. I knew there was light in you also.
I knew there was light in you also.
Yeah. This great grandmother is powerful in her ability to see light and hold hope. Great grandfather, what happens? We've got about 5 more minutes and we're going to close.
I just saw the light in my curtain and I was going to say I keep the light hidden. But it's there.
Are you willing to show great grandmother the light? Maybe it's not even this lifetime. Maybe it's a different lifetime. But the part of you that's connected to source energy. Yeah, just feel this movement. That's beautiful. And there's shadow in the light and the curtain. You can see it. It's welcome. Great grandmother.
I don't have any words.
Yeah, feels right. We may be at completion. Zasha for them. And then I want to check in with father. I want to check in with grandfather. Maybe more work to do with father since he's not here. And that's okay. Then I'll check in with you, Izzy. Go ahead, Zasha, for them. For her.
Just wanted to say here to Izzy, that you can hold the darkness when necessary. You have that power, but you don't have to hold on to the darkness. That was my entanglement with me, and that can be released. You don't have to hold on to it anymore.
You can hold it and then put it down. Yeah, thank you. Father, how are you? Let's check in, see what's going on there.
Yeah, I've really just been feeling myself aging through time is, through this process, and I feel very tired and like I want some warmth. So I went to be by the dog so that there was like a warm creature to be near. And I feel there's a serenity and a willingness to die peacefully, but also an awareness that there is, and I don't know if that's like the part of me that was caught up in this or what. And also just able to feel other things happening in my system that I couldn't feel before. Now that this feels like it was really in my front body, kind of taking up all this space, and I can feel sensation in other places that I just couldn't before, but I feel very tired.
Try these words if they feel true for Father. To your daughter, I watch over you from the other side.
Yeah, I'm watching over you from the other side.
You're the right daughter for me.
You are the right daughter for me.
Izzy's rep, how is that?
Yeah, feels good.
Beautiful. High self, you have something?
I'm also feeling very connected to the Father. He does look like an angel to me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Izzy's grandfather, how are you? How's that one been? Let's just do a full check-in.
I'm good. So I'm awake ever since it was given birth. So that was a release and relief for me. And now I have strength. And then everything that moved from there, it was great. So deep respect for all
Thank
the
you.
work.
Thank you so much, grandfather. Thank you so much, great-grandfather, for showing up. Anybody else have to say anything before I go to Izzy herself? Anyone else have something burning that has to be said? Cosmic helpers, go ahead.
I can see myself and the angels are wanting to say something here. For quite some time, we've been holding Izzy by the shoulders, the back and the shoulders. And from her heart, there is light emanating in a V shape out up into the heavens. And as these other movements have been happening, there is like this neon double helix going around the forehead, around the head, like a crown, and doing a rearrangement of the patterning within that being to go forward.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Angels of all living realms, go ahead. And then we'll go to Izzy.
Just sharing that any tears that come from this point on are also cleansing.
Thank you. Izzy herself, is it okay if we leave it here? And would you like to check in?
Yes, I've got lots I could share, and I'm happy to leave it there. Yes, I feel.
And we will do
the
a full.
movement strongly.
Thank you. We'll do a
Yeah.
full check-in with you in just a couple of minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank you so much. So beautifully held. So grateful for all of your fucking magical gifts. Just amazing, amazing, amazing. And so, Izzy, with love and light and respect, we give back to you everything that belongs to you, everything that belongs to your family, no longer ours to carry. We keep only what is ours, and we keep any medicine for our own souls. And so if we just feel yourself just giving back to this perfect, amazing and complicated lineage that's so much, the idea of this other lineage is so much bigger than us. So we give it back with love, honor, respect, but keep any medicine for our soul. That's for us. That's for our lineage. That's for our people.
Received. Taken back.
And everybody, you can bow if you need to. Just fully bless these energies, bless this soul, bless her perfect lineage and her own path. Then we can start carrying our own lineage again. And stop. Let's stop the recording.